Former Chief Weapons Inspector David Kay has concluded that Iraq did not possess weapons of mass destruction, a chief rationale for the U.S.-led war that leads the news. As well as does the second story of Iraq 2 suicide bombers have killed at least 56. So it goes on daily. Killed at least 56, wounded more than 235 in the deadliest assault in Iraq in 6 months. The attack struck in the Kurdish heartland, took a heavy toll among senior leaders at Iraq's most pro-American ethnic group. Now, like most red-blooded Americans, Mona and I watched the Super Bowl, followed by the beginning of the All-Star Survivor thing. And the Super Bowl, first of all, it was a very good game. It didn't start out that well, but that's typical of a lot of Super Bowls, boring kind of for a lot of people. But then it took off. Did not meet Mr. Morton's expectations at all. 32-29 in England, as you know. But what everybody's talking about is what's on Drudge right now, and I will escort you through Matt Drudge's headline. Outrage at CBS after Janet bears breast during dinner hour. Super Bowl show pushes limits. That's and then of course there's the photograph of that magic moment. Well now, okay, so halftime comes, and the dance ends, and who is he? This gentleman, this singer Timberlake, reaches over and appears to rip from the body of Janet Jackson the very portion of her dress that covers one mammary gland. They did this just, and you can hear the gasps in the back, and you can only imagine that the CBS the execs at the old probably in their 70s, right? I don't really know that to be true, but I just kind of imagine them sitting there watching the Super Bowl. We, the proud carriers of the Super Bowl, and then that instant when it was ripped off, they probably went. So they were CBS was not really happy. Also, the NFL chimed in. The NFL was, I guess, shocked. Doubtful they'll use the same routine for the next Super Bowl. Show. And then the Drudge story tonight. This is the capper. The male involved here, Mr. Timberlake, is now quoted on the Drudge page as saying, quote, "I'm sorry that anyone was offended by the wardrobe malfunction during the halftime performance of the Super Bowl." And the wardrobe malfunction. Now, the photograph is on the Drudge site. I'm sure everybody's racing to it right now. Remind you that this would perhaps not be appropriate for children. It doesn't bother me. It's a mammary gland with a metal starfish, I would think it is, missing the center portion of the fish. And that's all there is on this mammary gland. And now, it may have been it just may be that piece just right off and just collapsed in his hand. While I do believe in coincidences, this one, I don't know. I guess you will have to decide. Do you see this as a serious wardrobe malfunction, or do you see this in support? So the ocean currents are headed west. Europe will freeze, but we will talk about this because this is America. anyway, it was a good Super Bowl. That's what everybody is going to talk about. I absolutely guarantee it. Being, 58 years old, I've seen a few, and I'm not shocked, nor outraged, nor even particularly surprised, honestly. I guess I can imagine the CBS guy. So it'll be interesting to see how everybody handles this. You know what? Let's take a break, and I'll be right back. How else would the Super Bowl end with a dirty kicking a field goal in the last, like 4 seconds or something? That's the way it's written, right? That's the way it ends. Vietnamese officials wait a minute, CBS, here's something from CBS. CBS apologized on Sunday for an unexpectedly R-rated end to its Super Bowl halftime show when singer Justin Timberlake tore off part of Janet Jackson's top, exposing her breast. Well, that would seem to be in conflict with the wardrobe malfunction statement. We have a difference here. Oh, by the way, Super Bowl, Richard Hack also had a wardrobe malfunction. Anyway, let's try and gather it together here. Vietnamese officials on Monday said tests had confirmed that an 18-year-old boy did in fact die of the bird flu, becoming now the country's 9th victim to die from the disease, now raging through the region. The teenager from the ethnic minority group in the Central Highlands died early Monday. So Tran Chin Hyun, who would happen to be deputy director of the Hospital for Tropical Diseases in Ho Chi Minh City, where the boy was admitted January 29. That's an important story for all of you to keep following very closely. This is a species jump thing, and it's not good. There is this incredible girl who's been brought to Britain. I guess you probably heard about her, maybe not. Claims, in fact, demonstrates amazing powers, absolutely amazing powers. Russian Toshka Dmitry, 17 years of age, stunned doctors in her home country with her ability to see medical conditions inside of people. It's a real story. We flew her 1,500 miles to London to demonstrate her extraordinary powers to a Sun reporter, that'd be Brian Warden, who suffered multiple injuries, and she was knocked down by a car in October last year. So in other words, this incredible talent she claims to have began after the car accident. She is still recovering from the hit and run and uses crutches or a wheelchair to get around. Before she arrived, one reporter removed a leg brace and hid all clues to her injuries. Then the petite blonde teenager who looks years younger than her age began an examination. She just stood up, let her eyes scan over the fully clothed body, and made her diagnosis. And she's able to do this again and again and again and tell what's wrong with people. So she's being investigated right now. I wonder how many humans, through some either inherent natural born ability or one that is acquired in some accident that changes the chemistry in the brain, can do things that might amaze us all. Anyway, I said open line, so let's deliver. A wildcard line, you're on the air. Hi.
Hello, my name's Randall.
Hello.
Hey, you were talking about the article that was on the UK story. Global warming will plunge the UK to ice age within a decade.
Yes.
Now, Whitney Strieber was talking about doing some helpful tips, and one of them was to minimize the greenhouse gases. Wasn't that correct?
Yes. Well, wait. There's a caveat. If you recall, he said that there was a plan for planting trees. But that the discovery was, and the truth was, that they emitted more carbon dioxide than absorb. And so ultimately, that plan...
May of September 2003, Gary Pratt. It would be interesting to get him on because he had some new technology covering that you had, and he was only on for an hour on that day. And I think it would be very interesting.
Briefly, what did his technology do? That was not an interview that I did.
Yeah, that was with George. I'm
Right.
sorry.
What did the technology do?
The technology was basically based off of Nikola Tesla, and basically in short, same theory of vibration and frequency like the fluorescent light bulb, but he did it in a three-dimensional hologram chip that he put on. For example, he was talking about this chip that you put onto the vehicle or onto the fuel tank that modified the molecules of fuel to burn cleaner and get more fuel mileage. In fact, the website is on your webpage on the lower left at the bottom, which is a green tab which rotates with miles per tank. And he has his...
Some kind of ad up there?
Yeah, he's got a hot button up there on the lower left of your website.
All right. Well, I'm sure he appreciates that plug. That's interesting. However, I guess I would put this in the same box with, machines that get more output than input, machines that eternally move, whatever the claim is. Always ready to listen to stuff like that, but I have yet to see anything deliver, and I'm always available, by the way, for a convincing demonstration that will allow inspection of what's actually supposedly being done. Eastern Rockies, you're on air, honey. Yes. I'm doing it.
Well, I've got a cute little story about my cat.
Your cat?
She's 4 years old, and she rescues animals, dogs and cats, and brings them home.
Really?
Yes, so far I've found a home for 2 little dogs, and now I've got another cat sleeping on her back porch.
I mean, does she just like them wandering in with a dog trailing behind?
No.
With eyes of expectation? I mean, how does your cat do this?
We live out in the country, and a lot of people dump animals. And one night about midnight, she wanted to go out a little bit, so I let her out. And I don't let her out real late because we have coyotes around our house.
Yes.
And so I stood and watched, and here she came up the driveway with this little shaggy white dog.
Well, see, she did that. That's what I was asking.
And it was so funny. She came and sat on the porch with me and just looked at me like little